Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Pro back with some more reading fun. And we are going to continue talking about what good readers do. And like we said earlier this week, good readers ask questions as they read a book. They ask questions before they read the book, while they're reading the book, and at the end of the book. And they're more like I wonder why this is happening, or I wonder what's going to happen. And it really helps us understand the story better. And a lot of times our I wonders, our questions are answered as we read the story. So today we're going to read the story Voices in the Park by Anthony Brown. And this story gives you so many questions. And I will say a lot of them aren't answered in the story, so they leave you wondering even more. So Voices in the Park. I'm wondering, so as I just look at the pictures before, I see a little girl and a little boy in the back talking. It looks like they're in the park. So I wonder if they're brothers or a brother and sister. Maybe they're twins. I wonder if they're just good friends meeting at the park, hanging out. Those are some wonders that might be answered in the story. First voice. It was time to take Victoria, our pedigree laboratory, and Charles, our son, for a walk. When we arrived at the park, I let Victoria off her leash. Immediately, some scruffy mongrel appeared and started bothering her. I shooed off, but the horrible thing chased her all over the park. I ordered it to go away, but it took no notice of me whatsoever. Sit, I said to Charles. Here. I wonder, why is the mom kind of so uptight? Why is she not letting Charles have some fun? And why is she worried about the other dog playing with her dog? I was just planning what we should have to eat that evening when I saw Charles disappear. Oh dear, where had he gone? You get some frightful types in the park these days. I called his name for what seemed like ages. Wonder where Charles is. Then I saw him talking to a very rough-looking child. Charles, come here at once, I said. And come here, please, Victoria. We walked home in silence. Wow. And then if we look in the picture, we see a tree, and it looks like it's on fire. Is that tree on fire? Why? Is that author trying to tell us something? Maybe is that he's showing that it's on fire because the mom's so mad? And then we see it's like we have leaves, it's footsteps following them home. I wonder why that is. Oh, second voice. So it looks like this story is told by a few different people. I needed to get out of the house, so me and Smudge took the dog to the park. And I wonder if Smudge's child kind of looks like it there. Is that the guy that was sitting on the park bench next to Charles's mom? I wonder. He loves it there. I wish I had half the energy he's got. Oh my gosh, look at this tree. I wonder why the tree's lifted up like that. And if we look in the other pictures, there were flowers on the trees, and now there's no leaves on the trees. So I wonder if this story is taking place at a different time, a different season. I sat on a bench and looked through the paper for a job. I know it's a waste of time, but you've got to have some hope, haven't you? Then it was time to go. Smudge cheered me up. She chattered happily to me all the way home. And then if you see on their way home as they're walking, that looks like two people dancing, a Santa dancing. So I wonder why that's happening. Oh, we got King Kong up there on the roof. Lots of wonders. Third voice. He looks familiar. Is this Charles, I wonder? Third voice. I was at home on my own again. It's so boring. Then my mother said that it was time for a walk. There was a very friendly dog in the park, and Victoria was having a great time. I wished I was. I think this is Charles. But if we look now, look at the leaves are off the trees now, maybe blooming, kind of like spring. One tree is shaped like a hat. I wonder why. Wonder if, again, it's the author trying to tell us something. Did you want to come on the slide? A voice asked. It was a girl, unfortunately, but I went anyway. She was great on the slide. She went really fast. I was amazed. So I think this is Victoria and Charles. Or I'm sorry, Charles and, is it Smudge? Was that the other girl's name? The two dogs raced around like old friends. Oh, but if we look here, now there's flowers on all the trees. So did they meet up a bunch of times at the park? Oh, I wonder. The girl took off her coat and swung on the climbing bars, so I did the same. I'm good at climbing trees, so I showed her how to do it. She told me her name was Smudge. Funny name, I know, but she's nice. Then my mother caught us talking together, and I had to go home. And then we have it looks like when they're playing here, like we've seen it was summer, but now when they're leaving, it looks like it's fall or winter, and again, we have the leaves or the flowers following them. Maybe Smudge will be there next time. I wonder if these are different times. It sounds like the same time though. Fourth voice. Dad had been really fed up, so I was happy when he said we could take Albert to the park. Oh, so this must be, I wonder if this is Smudge talking. Albert's always in such a hurry to be let off his leash. He went straight up to this nice dog and sniffed his backside. He always does that. Of course, the other dog didn't mind, but his owner was really angry. The silly twit. So I think our question is answered that yes, it is Charles and Smudge and their parents at the park. I got talking to this boy. I thought he was kind of a wimp at first, but he's okay. He played on the seesaw, or we played on the seesaw, and he didn't say much, but later on, he was more friendly. Oh my gosh, in the back, look at the trees are fruits. I wonder why. And again, it's like a different season. We both burst out laughing when we saw Albert taking a swim. Then we all played on the bandstand, and I felt really, really happy. Charlie picked a flower and gave it to me. Then his mom called him and he had to go. He looked sad. I wonder why his mom didn't want him playing with her. When I got home, I put the flower in some water and made Dad a nice cup of cocoa. The end. So I love this story because there are so many questions that come to your mind as you read. But as we continued reading, we kind of realized that yes, that it was Charles and Victoria, his mom, at the park, playing or meeting up with Smudge and his dad at the park, and just their different voices or their different viewpoints as to maybe what happened at the park. I guess some of my questions that I still have that weren't really answered in the story is, what are some of the pictures that the author did? How there was like fruit, the trees were fruits, and how the seasons were all different. I wonder what that means. And I don't really have the answer to that. But what I could do is go even further and maybe Google or look up the author Anthony Browne, and maybe that's something that he does in some of his books and kind of find out why he does it and the meaning behind it. So I would love to hear from you, boys and girls, if you read a book and some questions you had, or maybe as I read Voices in the Park, some questions that you had in your mind, even if they were the same questions that I had, I would love to hear them. I'm going to share my screen so I can share with you my office hours. Where are they? Oops, sorry. Boys and girls, let me pull them up. Here they are. Okay. So here are my office hours. Again, your parents can email me anytime. You can send me a text with some of the questions that you had, or just to say hi or share some of the books you have read. Our Zoom office hours is on Thursday, but this week I'm going to come to all of your classes' Zoom meetings to say hi and share some questioning with your class. So our next Zoom with just me will be on May 28th. We're not going to have one this Thursday on May 21st. So the next one is May 28th, but I will see all of you at your class Zooms this week. I hope you enjoy Voices in the Park and keep asking questions because you are good readers and that's what you do. All right, boys and girls, I miss you so much. I hope everyone's doing well. See you soon.